Sandy, Mary, and Statesville.com.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Good morning and welcome to Heart Mooresville, your small town radio show with a big heart. How's everybody doing today?
Good morning. What day is it exactly?
Tuesday,
Okay,
I think.
I'm
pretty
having,
sure.
I'm having a hard time
I know.
acclimating back to what day it is. I was like, got to work, and then I was like, oh, we have a radio show this morning.
I know.
Boom.
It feels weird. The week feels weird.
Yeah, no, but it was great. The weather was fantastic, finally,
Yes.
for a weekend. So we enjoyed the outdoors, and hot dogs and hamburgers were consumed.
Ooh.
So how about you? Did you have a good holiday?
I did. We did not grill out. We had family came over and we did have a big dinner. We just didn't do the traditional like hamburgers and hot dogs, which I could smell everyone's grills though in the
Sure.
neighborhood. So I was feeling a little left out, but we have all summer to do that. So we'll definitely have to have a grill out.
Yeah, and Memorial Day, obviously, we stop and pause and observe, the reason for that particular holiday weekend. I don't even like to call it a holiday weekend, but it is. And the racing that is associated with it. Mooresville is obviously
Yes.
Race City, USA. So
You were excited to watch the race, right?
I was, the biggest day of motorsports. It's the Formula One race in the morning from Monaco, and then you have the Indy 500, and then you have the Coca-Cola 600. I personally, used to love Monaco. I think that the Formula One race, unfortunately, at Monaco has become a follow the leader. If you don't qualify the first or second position, you're not going to win. That track was never designed for cars that large, and there's just no passing opportunity. So I'm a traditionalist. I'd like to see better racing. Indianapolis, though, never disappoints. The 500 was amazing. Joseph Newgarden won his second consecutive Indy 500. I think he's only the second person to do that
Wow.
in the last 25 years. So that was extremely exciting. And then the Coca-Cola 600, which I live literally about a mile and a half from the track, so I can sit in my backyard
Oh, wow.
and hear them on the track.
Nice.
And unfortunately, we had a little weather, a little past halfway, which called the race early, and Christopher Bell won. But still an amazing day of motorsports and a great weekend. So no complaints.
Well, you know what else happened? I guess over the weekend, late end of last week, was graduations.
Oh, my goodness.
So I love seeing the Mooresville Tribune on Sunday because at the front page of the paper, all the schools, and you got to see everyone in their graduation cap and gowns. And, I was thinking this class started their high school career in COVID and literally
Good
started
point.
high school career not being in the classroom and being
Wow.
homeschooled.
Wow.
What a weird thing to experience.
Well, it takes me back to graduation, which, was only a couple years ago for me.
Yeah.
But we had such a big class that our graduation was at the old Charlotte Coliseum off Independence Boulevard.
Oh, nice.
And, that's now the Bojangles Arena or some other iteration name that I'm not aware of, but it was a big deal. I certainly, congratulations to all of the graduates who were out there listening and to all of their families. It's obviously a major accomplishment, and we wish you all the best.
That's right. That's right. Congrats to our grads. Before we get into the In the News segment, I realized that I missed our introductions this morning. So if you are just tuning in, I'm your host, Christine Patterson, with co-host Don Smyle, and we have a special guest here today, Maestro Eduardo Cedeño. Good morning.
Good morning. I should say hola.
Hola. Well, thank you for joining us. And we're going to talk to Eduardo a little bit in next segment. And we're excited to learn all about what he does with the Lake Norman Philharmonic. But right now, it's time for In the News.
Oh, I love the build-up.
Oh, yeah.
I love the build-up.
Thanks, Bill. Love it. So, lots of fun things going on, in our local community. One of the cool things that I read about was Mooresville's own Jacqueline Drake was crowned Miss North Carolina for America.
Wow. Wow.
Very cool. One of our own natives. That is awesome. So, Jacqueline was crowned the 2024 Miss North Carolina for America at the annual Miss North Carolina pageant held on May 5th at the James Warren Citizen Center in Lincolnton. They competed in areas of competition like interview, swimsuit, evening gown. This is actually the 6th year of the Miss North Carolina for America pageant, which is the sister pageant to the Miss North Carolina for America. Drake is actually a race car driver, and
Really?
she's been since the age of 6.
Wow.
She's accomplished more than 300 race wins and 3 championships behind the wheel. She's a NASCAR on-air reporter and manager of media strategy. She was recently a guest speaker at the Everything in Sports Global Conference on International Women's Day. Pretty cool achievements. Her big focus is supporting Victoria's Voice Foundation, which is a charity aimed at eliminating drug abuse and overdose deaths. So she will actually be competing this August at the Miss for America pageant at the International Theater in Westgate Resort Casino in Las Vegas. And she'll be competing against 51 women who are trying to win that title.
It says Elvis Presley once played there.
I know. And we have a tie to Mr. Elvis Presley, don't we?
We do. And I guess maybe you'll tell the viewers about that later.
Yes.
So you have to stay tuned to
Oh, yeah.
understand what the connection is between Drake and Elvis
Yeah.
and the Mooresville Parks and Recreation
That's
Department.
right. What does Mooresville have to do with Elvis Presley? We're going to tell you later.
Oh.
Also, really cool school news. Woodland Heights Elementary they claimed the #1 spot for fundraising in the state, and they're number 14 in the Southeast region for fundraising for the Kids Heart Challenge, which is an organization that raises money for the American Heart Association. The 650 students at the Woodland Heights Elementary School pulled together $42,309.
That's impressive.
Wow.
That's impressive. Maybe they need to come work for us.
I know.
And they can come help us raise money.
Yeah, we need sponsorship help. I sold wrapping paper when I was in high school, and I sold like 2 rolls.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's impressive.
That takes me back.
The Kids Heart Challenge, of course, is the American Heart Association's fundraising and service learning school program. It provides lessons and tools and activities to support mental and physical well-being for elementary students, families, and staff. And the American Heart Association staff actually traveled to the school a few weeks ago because there was such a large amount raised, and they were #1, and they personally thank them for their hard work.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Pretty cool. And if your school wants to get involved with the Kids Heart Challenge, you can always visit www.2.heart.org.
Always nice to see when schools get involved in local events, and to have such success is amazing. So
It's a good lesson,
congratulations to them.
I think,
Yeah,
for students,
absolutely.
too, about giving back.
Civic presence is important, both, when you get it, in school as well as once you're in the real world, as I like to say.
Yeah.
So one quick thing, too, kind of tie into Memorial Day. The Mooresville veteran, a gentleman by the name of Juan Carlos Ohio, I
yeah.
hope I'm saying that
Yeah.
correctly, was presented the keys to a brand new Ford Escape through
Ooh.
its Transportation for Heroes program, which is part of the Military Warriors Support Foundation. So while we remember and honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice, ultimately, there was a give back, and Juan didn't have his own vehicle for about 2 years. Lost his Jeep in an accident, and they had been forced, he and his wife, to share a single vehicle. And so the Military Warrior Support Foundation stepped up and presented him with the keys to a brand new Ford
Wow.
Escape, which is pretty amazing. So
Congrats, Juan Carlos.
congrats,
Well deserved.
Juan Carlos, yes.
Yeah.
So, and obviously we'll have much more to talk about when we come back here with our special guest, the conductor from the Lake Norman Symphony, here on WSIC and Heart Mooresville.
We'll be right back with more Heart Mooresville on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, after a hot and humid and a bit stormy Memorial Day weekend, the weather is a bit more tame for the next several days, and you'll notice the comfort level going up too. Humidity crashing as we go throughout our Tuesday. Our sunshine is back still. High temperatures are warm. We're into the mid-80s for this afternoon. Overnight, mostly clear. Temperatures fall down to around 60. Outlying spots and farms may even see upper 50s, but low 80s on the way and low humidity for Wednesday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like Teresa Vance, life insurance agent and retirement strategist.
here is your WSIC community calendar. Alabama's Austin Bohannon plays a local concert tour beginning Thursday with Langtree Live in Mooresville on May 30th. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the concert powered by Waves Entertainment beginning at 7. Bohannon then plays Friday on the Burkdale Village stage with the Live Under the Oaks concert series. Back-to-back free music beginning on Thursday at Langtree in Mooresville and then Friday at Burkdale Village in Huntersville. Blankets and chairs are welcome for both Austin Bohannon shows. The Kane Center for the Arts welcomes Philip Hamrick on Friday for his album release celebration. The singer-songwriter from Mooresville releases his first solo album as an independent artist with The Tunnel Club. Hamrick's personal stories are delivered through vocals and acoustics. Doors open at 7 p.m. with Hamrick's The Tunnel Club album release celebration at 8 p.m. on Friday. For tickets, more information on this show and many other programs, visit kanearts.org. That's CAINarts.org. Mooresville's Festival of Food Trucks has expanded to Broad Street and Main Street, and this Saturday serves up gourmet fare. Bring chairs, bring friends, and delight in over 15 food trucks from around the area. Listen to live music from Billy Jones in the Pocket, stroll the streets, and shop. Mooresville's Festival of Food Trucks begins at 5 p.m. on Saturday. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is back at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The first practice night is on Tuesday, June 4th, with the 10-week series opening night race on June 10th. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Call now to speak with iHeart Mooresville hosts Christine Patterson and Don Smyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's iHeart Mooresville on WSIC.
All right. Welcome back to iHeart Mooresville here on WSIC. I'm your host, Don Smyle, along with my starling co-host, Christine Patterson.
Morning.
And we are sliding back into the week. We hope everybody had a great and safe Memorial Day weekend. And we are very lucky today to have Eduardo Cedeño from the Lake Norman Philharmonic. Yes. So Eduardo is going to tell us a little bit about his history and what the Lake Norman Philharmonic has coming up. And I want to start by, Christine, I think there's a tie-in for an event that's coming up. So
Yes.
I will let you kind of educate the public, and then we will talk to Eduardo.
Yes. So we have partnered, and I say we, the town, Parks and Recreation, Arts and Events, has partnered with Lake Norman Philharmonic, I guess, for about 5 years now.
Yep.
We met Eduardo, about 5 years ago. He was, really pushing hard and has done such an amazing job at building this organization and, making it really what it is today. And so we started hosting some joint events, and now we have the upcoming Symphony Under the Stars that's happening October 4th, annual.
Where is this happening?
Liberty Park. So you'll really be able to, feel the ambiance. There's white lighting in the trees and charcuterie boards and wine and and then some beautiful classical and modern music under the stars. But yeah, so I'm so excited to have you here, Eduardo. So tell us a little bit about, how you got into this and obviously music must be a passion for you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, Christine and Dawn, thank you for having me.
Of course.
This is awesome. This is great to be able to have the opportunity to express what's going on in the community. Well, coming up, like you said before, is Symphony Under the Stars. We've done this previous years. Basically, it's to celebrate the town of Mooresville and also to bring many things, to expose the orchestra as well. And speaking of the orchestra, very quickly, we started during the pandemic, as a matter of fact, when everything was going so wrong and just all that things that we lived. But I decided to take the time to create this orchestra. And right now we're at 55 strong. And we're ready to go for this great event. It's well attended, let me say.
That's great. You know, so many great things I think came from this very negative thing that happened
Yeah.
in our world.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, and it sounds like you as well, found the silver lining and was
Yeah.
able to create and not, let it kind of drive down like it did with so many. So I love to hear that. And I hope we have a great turnout. We
Yeah.
had an amazing one, of course, the year before last. We did take a break last year for the 150th anniversary, but we're so excited to have the event back this year. So looking forward to it.
And then for the audience, I would like to say this. I'm a violinist, and I remember to this day how scared you get when you have auditions. I remember playing probably for 10,000 people, and that was fine. And there was a lot of fantastic, but auditions, nah.
Yeah.
So in the orchestra, we ask people to come and give us 3 times. Because the first time to make the orchestra, bring your instrument and play with us. This is the time where's the bathroom? What is everybody? And try to get used to it. On the second time, on the third time, and then we have a talk. And
Oh.
then what happened is the person say, "Oh, this is great. I just need to practice some." But if they don't feel good, I also have a friend. Instead of the person didn't pass the audition, they say, they don't feel good. Probably I don't get them to come to the concert or the other friends.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So Eduardo, you are such an amazing person. I have learned so much about you over the past few years. You have done so much. I mean, you have conducted overseas, and you have these great, exciting, amazing things that you've done. You're the liaison for Hockenheim, our sister city. So tell us, like, kind of hit some of those highlights. What are some of the top 3 cool things, amazing things that you've gotten to do in your career?
Well, I don't like to say I'm lucky. I just have been blessed.
Yeah.
Um, from the very beginning, I grew up in a family where my grandpa was into the opera. My dad was not so much into music, but he loved opera, and that kind of was the beginning. So for my brothers, um, then I went to a conservatory of music right away. I love opera, and I like to play violin. It was kind of, and then I picked up some other instruments along the way. Um, but then I want to conduct too. So, and I want to sing too.
You want to do it all.
So I've been doing this all my life. And then I added to be a teacher since I was 19 years of age. I started my first teaching job.
That's right. You teach at Langtree Charter
I
Academy.
do. I teach the band and the orchestra.
So you want to give a shout out to your students?
Sure. And so the Philharmonic that we have now, and it's also open for them, those up to playing the music that we play. So
You mentioned that you play several instruments.
I do
What's your favorite and why?
violin and voice.
Okay, and tell me why violin.
I went to an opera rehearsal with my father. I would have been very young, and in front of us, the people were on the pit in the rehearsal, and I saw the trombone players and the brass players, and I saw how much effort they had to play their instrument, and there's so much pressure, and I said, "Oh no, Dad, they look like they're gonna blow up," but. But then in front of me, there were the violins. It's just all a continuous sound. And I said, I think it started right there. And so I want one of those. I want to play violin. So
Wow.
that's the kind of started it.
Wow. Well,
Mm.
I'm a big fan of violin too. I think
Yeah.
I love Philharmonic music.
Yeah.
I just love classical music.
Yeah.
I think that love affair came from my parents. My mother enjoyed it a lot, so I would hear it. And it's just it's one of those things you can put on the weekends in your house,
Yeah.
and it's just great to
It
listen
is.
to. And some of it's very inspiring, and
It evokes feeling.
very much so.
I don't think I've listened. There's not many classical pieces I've listened to that don't evoke some sort of feelings more so than when you turn on some of our today's music. It definitely evokes that, and it makes you feel good or
Mhm.
scared or anxious or whatever. But
Mhm.
it's feelings, and I love it. And I also love to hear a modern piece played classically or
of
with an
course.
instrument. It sounds, it just changes the whole piece of music. That's why I love that you throw in modern pieces too.
Yes.
Because people recognize though and they hear it, but it really sounds beautiful like that. So you recently got to host as being part of the liaison to Hockenheim. What is that official title? Is it the music liaison or?
Well, it's a sister city.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined them, and because I get excited about different countries. I'm been in
Yeah.
Europe for many years, going there and back, and when the opportunity came, and I said I want to be part of this. How can I incorporate music in all of this? And I've been so blessed to host Tom, that was the mayor of
The
Hockenheim, right,
Hockenheim,
in my
right.
house for a week. That was a
That's
riot.
pretty
He's a
cool.
great guy. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm
Mm.
sure, so getting to host the Hockenheim mayor.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming you guys probably talked a lot.
Yep.
What was one thing that I guess surprised you or that you learned from him?
Well, learn how they wanted to take away what did happen during the war. They want
Mm,
to present to the to the world today how great they are today
yeah.
and how blessed they are today. That there's one Germany that
Right.
they're so it talks about a little bit. So he likes that.
Yeah.
Mm.
That makes sense. You don't think, I mean, that's just, Hockenheim is just a town, a community like
Hmm.
ours, but they have a very different history than America has. And so it
Yeah.
comes with a very different,
Mm.
belief system and focuses and priorities. So that's pretty cool. And I'm glad that Mooresville participates in that program.
Yes.
So for listeners that aren't aware, Mooresville does have a sister city, and it is Hockenheim, Germany. And usually we host them about every year, every 2 years.
Mhm.
We host a student group and an adult group. And so if you are interested, you can always contact the town and how you can get involved in that. But there's some exchange programs with the schools. You actually got to teach a classroom abroad, didn't you?
Yeah.
A music class.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are
Um,
you talked about being in Europe and going over there many times. What is the favorite place that you've had the opportunity to either play in or participate in watching? Because there's so many historic places over there from a musical perspective. Obviously, most of the great composers are from Europe, and there's amazing history there. And having traveled to Europe a couple times myself, the music halls and the places where that takes place are pretty majestic and pretty historical. So is there one that really stands out to you, or maybe two?
well, I don't want to make this too long,
Mhm.
but let me start real quickly. Okay, let me say something I don't want to say, but I graduated in 1972. But what happened at that time, I auditioned prior to my graduation, and a wonderful group was a choir group, the top notch ever. And I will explain it real quickly. And before my graduation, 3 days before, they had a 45-day tour to learn many things in Europe, Yugoslavia to be exact. And then we went to, that's when the appetite started it. And I said, wow, those guys are different, so advanced, so this, so that. And that's when the appetite started for going back and back and back to
Mm,
Europe, not just Yugoslavia, now Croatia. But that's how I started it. And I keep having friends and more friends and call them and emailing and so on. And that's how I started being many places. Um, so um, then after that, we came back, and then we went back to this is a big one. We were for a competition in Arezzo, Italy, different settings, and we won the international competition against Russia and other countries. By the way, we were the best in the world for 1974. So
Well, I will
that's
tell
the
you, this is a great story, and we're going to take a quick
Yeah.
break, and then we're
Excellent.
going to come back and finish it here
Sure.
on WSIC
All right.
on iHeart
There's
Mooresville.
more iHeart Mooresville on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, after a hot and humid and a bit stormy Memorial Day weekend, the weather is a bit more tame for the next several days, and you'll notice the comfort level going up too. Humidity crashing as we go throughout our Tuesday. Our sunshine is back. Still, high temperatures are warm. We're into the mid-80s for this afternoon. Overnight, mostly clear. Temperatures fall down to around 60. Outlying spots and farms may even see upper 50s, but low 80s on the way and low humidity for Wednesday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Little Shavers Wood Shop and Building Supply is your one-stop source for winter electric and torpedo heaters, heat lamps, pine and cedar shavings, ice melt, and snow sleds. Plus, year-round items including PPG paints and stains, tools for plumbing and heating, and automotive supplies. Over 55,000 warehouse products available. You'll find Little Shavers on Facebook and online at littleshavers.com. That's LILshavers.com.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Grow in your faith with biblical teaching from the Word of God. Listen to Pastor Steve Pope from Calvary Baptist Church, Sunday mornings at 9 here on News Talk WSIC, or listen on demand at WSICnews.com.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. It already has a bunch of information on you. Now it's going to further monetize it. Dow Jones says PayPal, which tracks the purchases and broader spending behaviors of its millions of users through both its namesake and Venmo apps, is going to start an ad network. PayPal already uses spending data to help merchants advertise to its own customers. This move will sell ads to companies to pitch their stuff to you anywhere online. In gambling, it said that the house always wins, but in this case, the losing bets were against the Senate. Stocks and sports betting companies DraftKings and Flutter, owner of FanDuel, are falling today after the Illinois State Senate passed a bill that would raise taxes on sports betting from a current 15% to as high as 40%. As the Illinois House takes up the bill, stock in DraftKings is down 10%, FanDuel's owner down 6%. Stock indexes on Wall Street mixing it. Dow losing almost 0.5%. NASDAQ gaining almost 0.5%. S&P break even. Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
Looking good, Mooresville. I mean, you're sitting at that traffic light too. Might as well be looking at something. Heart Mooresville continues now on WSIC.
And welcome back to Heart Mooresville here on WSIC News. We are talking with Eduardo Cedeño, the conductor of the Lake Norman Philharmonic. Eduardo, we were just talking about, some of your favorite places to conduct. You've been all around the world. You conduct back here in America, in Europe, and you were telling us a story about Yugoslavia. Help us finish that story.
Well, and that was what the choir is called, the Schola Cantorum de Caracas. It's basically the singers, of Cantorum is like the school, right? So from there, I was I was 20 years old, and then I started in a symphony orchestra, and then moved to the United States in the 80s. And that's things changed right away. So I took a lot of lessons in Europe. Met a person by the name Ennio Nicotra, Italian from Palermo, and that was a different taste. But I've been in Italy before, and then that was a wonderful. Italians are so happy about everything and drink a lot of wines, and
that's why they're happy.
Yeah.
And the little things that the way they do breaks when we do rehearsals, they don't say let's take 5. No, let's a cappuccino. And that means in 10 minutes, about half an hour. And there's a difference, a little take. I've been in London. I did that last year, and that's a different taste, different things. So I adapt. Let's put it that way. They're more strict to the time. And so the music also sounds different because it's very structured, very to the notation, piano's piano, forte is forte, loud is loud, different than Italians. Italians is all a fair game.
That's
So
interesting.
that's the difference. Which one I like best? None. I like the variety of it.
Do you have a
Right.
favorite composer? Do you have somebody that kind of resonates with you that you enjoy playing?
Depends how I feel. My license plate in the car says Vivaldi.
All right. Well, that's pretty much the answer then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I play violin, there's a lot of literature for violin. There's not only the only composer, but he's so vibrant. And so, well, as a young violinist, we all play Vivaldi and Telemann and all the composer from the Baroque era. So, um, but I like the strength, the Beethoven, and that's what I did last year. I conducted in London. I had a great opportunity to conduct Beethoven Fifth Symphony.
Wow.
Okay, by the way, if I could, the conductor of that orchestra is Claudio Di Meo, Italian, right?
Yes.
So we got an agreement. Okay, you conduct my orchestra, I'm gonna conduct yours.
Ah.
And I said, okay, I take that.
So he's going to come here and
It's coming, and thank you to the town and Christine for putting everything together for Symphony Under the Stars, and I want to bring him before that, which is October 4th, right?
Yeah.
And he's conducted first half, and there will be classical music,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will do the second half, and it will be a little more casual, more
contemporary.
contemporary.
Yeah.
So that will be kind of in quick, right? So the what's going to happen that day?
Yeah, I'm super excited about that, and what an amazing connection. But yeah, Claudio Di Meo, an Italian from London, is going to come and conduct, part of our Symphony Under the Stars here in Mooresville, North Carolina. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, Mooresville is coming up, and as I like to say, after the 150, if you don't know Mooresville, you will know Mooresville. There is so many great things happening here in this town in terms of entertainment options, and obviously you're a big part of that, Christine, and the town should thank you and your team for all
thank
your
you.
efforts. The Symphony Under the Stars sounds like an amazing evening.
Yeah.
And we were talking about charcuterie boards earlier, and I was laughing, but I mean, seriously, how can you not attend a symphony without charcuterie? Maybe a bottle of wine. Who knows?
Yeah. Blanket on the grass. You
Yeah.
literally get to have a picnic in the beautiful Liberty Park, listen to wonderful music. Hopefully it's a warm October evening and, under the stars. It's perfect.
Let me ask you a question because I'm don't know the answer, or I wouldn't be asking the question. So your wand, okay? We see the wand, and we think that musicians kind of know the notes and they know what they're supposed to be playing. What is happening with the wand in layman's terms? Tell the average person and myself, what purpose does that serve for the orchestra? What are you telling them?
Do they actually pay attention to it?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Well, actually, before the one, it's the most scary moment ever. You got some stage fright all the time. You never get cured of that, and that's going to happen. So my trainers always just think about the first note. That's what we talk about the one, right? Concentrate on that. Don't look at the audience and say hi, but pretend you're not there. Because basically, you're the audience behind you, but in front of you is the orchestra. Usually, that's like in a sandwich here, okay? Mm-hmm. And the first one, as you call it, is very tense, so I had to work that out before I get on the stage. But yes, the downbeat, as we call it, is crucial. Yeah, everybody had to. Oh, I look at everybody. Are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? You had the first note memorized.
So is it more about a timing thing?
Oh, totally. Yes.
Okay.
Timing, yes. And also with the baton or downbeat, you express on that gesture everything.
Mm-hmm.
How fast gonna go? Is it gonna be jumpy like a staccato?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it gonna be lovely? Or is it gonna be slow? All of that in one time. And that's where we go to school for. But yeah, it's very tense that moment.
Right.
Yes,
definitely. Have you ever messed up? Have you ever messed up with the wand and
the baton?
Yes,
the
but
baton.
don't tell anybody.
don't tell the orchestra because they're usually.
Oh
the
no,
ones- yeah.
my students always, you're gonna make mistakes. I always say more than you because I perform more than you. So it's
Right.
always there, of course. Yeah.
So in watching a baton, a conductor, you're mentioning the downbeat, but I also see and so basically there's a language happening with your hand in the baton. Is that an accurate statement? There's words or cues being given visually with how you're gesturing.
Well, my job happened in the rehearsals, not really. When I'm on the podium, they should be. If I'm a good conductor, they don't need me,
Mm.
basically, because what I do conducting the day of the performance is just reminding them what we did rehearsal. So is the opera and some other things. It just you have to do the work before you get there. That's the tough part.
Yeah.
The pianissimo, the soft, the loud. Or sometimes I look at their face because probably the oboe or the flute has a little solo within a piece. So I remind them. So go with my hands. I go, now it's your turn. Now it's your turn, soft or piano or whatever. So, but everything happened before.
Mm.
Yeah.
You mentioned that some of your students that you teach at Langtree Charter Academy sometimes make it into the Lake Norman Philharmonic.
They do.
How many students do you have as part of the
In
group?
this coming concert, I got 4. They really step up to the plate, and there was a lot of notes. I mean, that's a lot very complex for them, but they're right there, and
Wow.
I'm so happy about making that connection with the school where I teach, but also the orchestra that I conduct.
And how often do you change members of the orchestra? You say you have 55, right?
Yeah.
How often do they rotate in or out, or
Do you get new members?
Yeah.
Well, it's a non-profit organization, so some people move, some people get married, some people want to do some other things, and that happens. So that's why I always recruiting, right? It's but it's open and it's free to come. There's no charge. That's another thing. We don't charge to the audience to come to our concerts. My wife and I, my wife Claire, let me say it. We managed how to get fundings and to get it all together. We take donations, but we're always recruiting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You better shout out Claire because Claire does an amazing job. You don't want to get in
Yeah.
trouble. So, Claire Cedeño, good job for managing Eduardo.
Yeah. Well, it's a fair game. I mean, so people come and then they want to do some other things. People want to say, I'm going to go back to do jazz only, and then that's fine. This coming event, the coming year as a whole, we're going to divide the groups in sections. Like we're going to have what's called camerata strings. I stole that from a friend of mine in Italy. There was a chamber. It means like a chamber music. So we call it camerata strings. It's going to be just strings. And then we're going to have a camerata woodwinds. We're going to have just the woodwinds and then and so on and so forth. So they kind of divide the group throughout the year. So people
Wow.
have the opportunity to listen just portions of the orchestra.
Wow. Okay. Well, Eduardo, thank you so much for talking with us today. Now, if people wanted to go and learn more about Lake Norman Philharmonic, your website is what?
It's a Lake Norman Philharmonic, just like that.
Is it
Yeah,
LKN
.org.
Philharmonic.org?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for being on the show today.
Oh, it's lovely.
And we're looking forward to October.
We'll see you
Sure.
under the stars.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with Heart Mooresville after a break.
There's more Heart Mooresville on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, after a hot and humid and a bit stormy Memorial Day weekend, the weather is a bit more tame for the next several days, and you'll notice the comfort level going up too. Humidity crashing as we go throughout our Tuesday. Our sunshine is back. Still, high temperatures are warm. We're into the mid-80s for this afternoon. Overnight, mostly clear. Temperatures fall down to around 60. Outlying spots and farms may even see upper 50s, but Low 80s on the way and low humidity for Wednesday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Alabama's Austin Bohannon plays a local concert tour beginning Thursday with Langtree Live in Mooresville on May 30th. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the concert powered by Waves Entertainment beginning at 7. Bohannon then plays Friday on the Burkdale Village stage with the Live Under the Oaks concert series. Back-to-back free music beginning on Thursday at Langtree in Mooresville and then Friday at Burkdale Village in Huntersville. Blankets and chairs are welcome for both Austin Bohannon shows. The Kane Center for the Arts welcomes Philip Hamrick on Friday for his album release celebration. The singer-songwriter from Mooresville releases his first solo album as an independent artist with The Tunnel Club. Hamrick's personal stories are delivered through vocals and acoustics. Doors open at 7 p.m. with Hamrick's The Tunnel Club album release celebration at 8 p.m. on Friday. For tickets, more information on this show and many other programs, visit kanearts.org. That's CAINarts.org. Mooresville's Festival of Food Trucks has expanded to Broad Street and Main Street, and this Saturday serves up gourmet fare. Bring chairs, bring friends, and delight in over 15 food trucks from around the area. Listen to live music from Billy Jones in the Pocket, stroll the streets, and shop. Mooresville's Festival of Food Trucks begins at 5 p.m. on Saturday. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is back at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The first practice night is on Tuesday, June 4th, with the 10-week series opening night race on June 10th. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Mooresville, how we feeling? Good. Welcome back to iHeart Mooresville on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
All right, welcome back to iHeart Mooresville. Bill, I feel like we should have some classical music coming back in.
That's
you
right.
know? That would have been great. You know, let's cue that up next time. We're gonna, in honor of Eduardo, we'll do some classical music on the next show. What do you think?
Yeah.
I love that.
We're inspired.
All right. So some things going on in and around the Mooresville Parks and Recreation Department. We have mentioned for a couple weeks now that we are hiring. We are looking for hardworking, responsible, and fun-loving people to help us create an outstanding summer camp experience. So if you're interested in participating in that, and school's out now, and your teenagers may be looking for an opportunity to get involved in something, camp is June 3rd through August 2nd, and it's a Monday through Friday. And we have part-time and full-time positions available. Each of our recreation centers is looking for help, so you can contact them directly at their numbers, which are located on our webpage, mooresvillerecreation.org, and that's the Selma Burke Recreation Center, the War Memorial Recreation Center, and the Winnie Hooper Recreation Center. So if you are interested in joining our summer camp staff, please reach out to one of those centers and express your interest. And our ever-popular Destination Recreation program is kicking off at Magla Park this Friday, May 31st. Extremely popular with the families and then with children. And it starts off with plate threading. So we would ask you to come out, enjoy some fresh air, and participate in a hands-on activity. Again, Magla Park at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Friday, May 31st. And this runs all summer. So pretty much every week there is a destination recreation event, and you can collect. We give out passports for everybody who comes, and then you get a stamp for every time you attend. And at the end, you get a prize. So yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Also for the children, we have a program called Little Hands, Tiny Feet. It's a 60-minute class encouraging creativity in your little one through theme-based activities, including drawing, painting, coloring, and crafting, and you get to take your masterpiece home. So
I love recreation.
Yeah.
We have such fun stuff.
This happens at the War Memorial Recreation Center on June 1st, so please go to mooresvillerecreation.org to learn more. And something new that's happening this year, we obviously have the largest skate park in the Southeast. We're extremely proud of that. And we are offering skateboard lessons this year as part of camp.
I might need to sign up for that.
Yeah, so there are multiple dates. available for this. Obviously, it happens at the Mooresville Skate Park. And again, go to mooresvillerecreation.org or call the Mooresville Recreation Office, Mooresville Parks and Recreation Office, to learn more. But if your child wants to learn more about skateboarding and learn how to do all those fun tricks I see them doing out there all the time, then Skateboard Camp is for you.
I like that.
I wish I wasn't old and brittle because
Yeah.
I used to love skateboarding. But I'm pretty sure that my body would not react or respond or rebound quite as quickly as it did when I was younger.
I agree, but YOLO. I feel like we need to sign up for that.
So when I'm in a cast, I'll have you sign my cast. YOLO.
That's right. Well, tis the season for events. It's beautiful weather outside, which means lots of fun things coming up to do. Of course, our two big announcements that we made last week are that we have announced our Mooresville, our mini series at the Mooresville Performing Arts Center.
And we have to go back to the beginning of the show very quickly just to say that you had mentioned that Elvis once played at this specific location where this event was taking place.
In Vegas, yes.
And you said that there was a connection
between
the Mooresville Parks and Recreation Department, Mooresville, and Elvis. And so now you get the chance to share.
That's right.
Wow.
So the connection between Mooresville Parks and Recreation and Elvis is that Elvis's wife, former wife, Priscilla Presley, is coming to perform at the Mooresville Performing Arts Center on June 15th.
Wow.
Pretty cool. As part of our Entertainment Icons in Their Own Words mini-series that will take place this summer. So Priscilla Presley show is going to be amazing. It's on June 15th. Meet and greet packages are available. So actually the meet and greet packages are sold out, but we have a handful that we have slid away to get for giveaways.
Okay.
So
there's your opportunity.
We'll be doing giveaways over the next few weeks. So you can sign up to win meet and greet packages, swag packages, merch packages, free tickets, really, really cool opportunities. So that show is June 15th. And then in July, at the Mooresville Performing Arts Center.
Okay.
That's right.
Yes.
Show starts at 6. Tickets on sale at ourtownstage.com. And then Celebrity Housewives are coming on July 27th.
Cue the cat fight.
Yes.
Wow.
So if you are a fan of all the gossip and the drama and the fighting and the flipping tables and all the things.
I mean, who flips a table? Seriously.
That's right. Teresa. Then come join us at the Mooresville Performing Arts Center on July 27th. So meet and greet packages are also available for that. It's going to be a fun summer. We have lots of cool things planned.
So I hear a lot of things for the kids in the beginning of this segment, but we have a lot of stuff to do too.
That's right.
Yeah, this
Adults,
is great.
all ages. Parks and Recreation has you covered.
Pretty much 5 to 95, we got you covered.
That's right. So then we have a free concert series called Rock the Park that takes place at Liberty Park from May through October for our symphony. We'll end with Symphony Under the Stars. So our next show in the lineup is June 7th, Greggy and the Jets. Greggy and the Jets is an Elton John tribute. Amazing show. It's probably going to be one of my favorite ones that we'll do this summer. We have the gym glasses, the the 60s wear, the disco ball necklaces, all the things. So come and dress in your favorite Elton John attire and just enjoy the music. It's going to be a great show. And that's at Liberty Park. Then a couple other events happening that are not town events but are very cool opportunities coming up is, of course, Throttle Thursdays kicked off May 2nd. So now it's the last Thursday of each month, April through October. Throttle Thursdays, it's motorcycles, classic cars, Murdo Made Distillery, which means there's liquor. It's all the fun things that you could want right on Main Street. They have a great tequila, I've heard.
You've heard? Okay.
By my mother, actually.
Okay.
She bought like 3 bottles when she was here. So, but really great time. Those are always fun, and they're growing more and more people. Of course, also every Thursday that kicked off in May is Langtree Live. So right off Exit 31 in the Langtree Business Park, they have a great lineup every Thursday of cover bands. They've had some awesome ones last week, Pluto for the Planet. So definitely check those out. Another fun thing that I think people forget about that happens in the area is we have this great place called Kerrigan Farms. Kerrigan Farms has a rock quarry. And that rock quarry offers open swim during the summer.
You know, I've seen this on Instagram. It's actually a pretty popular place that's promoted as a destination that people don't know about.
Right.
And quite frankly, until I saw it on Instagram, I didn't know about it.
It is the coolest place, like one of the coolest places in Mooresville. So you can have weddings there. They do tons of weddings. The lights on the water in the quarry at night are amazing. Langtree had their prom there a couple years ago, actually. So they host all kinds of events, proms, but in the summer, they just have these open swim days. So you can come and jump off a dock into the quarry, and they have like snacks, and it's a really cool and really cool experience. So you can find out what days specifically are open swim days, and those are offered May through August, but you can go to kerriganfarms.com to find out which days. Also, of course, coming up June 1st is the Food Truck Festival. Those are the first Saturday of each month during the summer, and that's 5 to 8:30 p.m., so check those out. Wobbly Butt Brewery.
This is
every
my
time
favorite.
I say it.
This is my favorite.
And Comedy Zone at Victory Lanes hosts weekly evenings of live stand-up comedy. That's every Wednesday. It is the only venue in the area that hosts live comedy every single week. And these are like national comedians that are on TV. Pretty cool to have that here in Mooresville. Victory Lanes has really evolved over the years to be an entertainment center. You can do everything.
I think there's pretty much nothing that you can't do based on this list. And Mooresville has something for everyone.
Yes.
And of course, Christine keeps us in the know.
That's right. The Mooresville Oracle. Knowing all things.
You do know all things.
Lots of fun things coming up. And then a last few, of course, if you're more of like you just want to hear some music and a jam session, you can always go to Richard's Coffee Shop every Saturday at 9:00 and catch a veterans jam session. It's a really cool experience. Of course, Richard's Coffee Shop in Welcome Home Vets is downtown. The banjo, guitars, it's just a really cool experience to see veterans play. And then the stories, of course, they tell stories and you can engage in conversation and hopefully learn something, but cool experience to be offered in Mooresville. And then Lake Norman Coffee and Cars hosts an awesome car show the fourth Saturday of every month, April through December at Merino Mills. That's 8 to 11 a.m. Those are really becoming a hot thing too and growing.
Yeah, there's a new pizza place there too, isn't there? No, it's tacos.
Tacos.
The pizza place has been there. It's the tacos.
I have not tried it yet, and that is crazy because I love tacos.
Yeah.
We have to go down there.
All right, we'll make it a date.
Yes. And then I have a couple last things I want to mention is it's a little bit far away, but Mooresville Fondo happening.
The second annual.
That's right. Second annual Mooresville Fondo, September 8th. This event, started last year as part of the 150th anniversary, but really great event. I think it's going to be even bigger and better this year, so stay tuned. I think that's going to be a signature event here in Mooresville.
Yeah, basically a Fondo is an organized bike ride.
Right.
And so there'll be an opportunity for anybody who enjoys cycling to come out, no matter your age.
That's right. And then right after that, September 14th is going to be the Bands, Brews, and Barbecue Festival. So,
oh my goodness,
burn some calories on the bike so you can, make some room for all the beer and barbecue that you're going to eat on September 14th.
And there will be a lot.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that barbecue last year was amazing. I think they had like vegetarian barbecue. I'd never heard of it.
Oh yeah, vegan barbecue.
Oh,
I hear Mozart.
Bill is playing
Oh no, that's
classical.
Vivaldi. I'm sorry, I messed up.
Oh,
I love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
thank you,
good.
Bill. Bill comes through.
Yeah.
What a fun show. Well, we are so excited that you all joined us. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode of I Heart Mooresville. Eduardo, thanks for being our guest today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, we will see you next week for I Heart Mooresville right here on WSIC News.
And enjoy some of Vivaldi as we exit stage left.